Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ivan Estrada.
How is everyone? Woo, awesome. Well, it feels great to be here. I'm gonna play a little video for you guys. I'm known as the video guy. I started doing videos 13 years ago, and it completely changed my business. I've been in the real estate industry for the last 13 years as a real estate agent in Los Angeles. And during the pandemic, when things looked not so good, I always wanted to fulfill my dream of taking a video shot of my desk around Los Angeles. My journey to real estate was not an easy one, but a lot of these landmarks meant a lot to me. I had an emotional connection to them. So let me show you a little bit of that journey, and that journey then became one of my biggest marketing campaigns ever. I'm a real estate agent, and Los Angeles is my office. So I thought, why not make it my office? These landmarks are more than markers to identify LA. They show the countless dreams built this city. These locations signify a dream created from a single idea. There's truly no other place like this in the world. Los Angeles is more than just my office. It's home. That just took me back. So this video made a huge impact in my career, and we decided to take it a step further. So we took pictures in front of some of the greatest landmarks around our country: Chicago, New York, Miami, and around the world: Paris, Rome, Shanghai, and some of the areas that I receive business from and some of my partners in real estate are located. And so that's gonna be coming out very soon. Now, let's get into video. So just so I can get a sense of the room, who in the room is consistently doing video? Okay, so a couple of people. And who is not doing video but wants to start? Okay, awesome, great. So for the next 25 minutes, I'm gonna go over some of this content, which I think is incredibly valuable. The first one is overcoming the fear. That's the number one reason why people don't create content, why agents don't create content. The second one, we'll talk about brand pillars. This is where you're gonna be getting your content, and I'll go over that in detail shortly. Then we'll go over the real estate video styles that all agents and also brokers should be producing. Then we'll go over the video equipment necessary. Lastly, over the platforms that we need in order to be able to broadcast those videos. And lastly, the most important part is, why should you care? So the first problem of why the agents are not creating video is fear. Fear is the thing that stops people at their tracks from taking that step, from broadcasting their education to their clients, especially in a market like now where we have a shortage of inventory, a supply chain that's backed up, and a rise of interest rates. So, in order to help me with an exercise, I'm gonna need someone from the audience about overcoming fear. Okay, so I need one person who wants to raise their hand, who wants to come up with me. All right, Kristen, all right, give her a round of applause, guys. Okay, I'm gonna need you to stand there in the center and look out. Okay, so what are the thoughts that are going through your head right now? Honestly.
I probably can't say it, but just I'm happy. I'm excited about what you're about
Okay, well, maybe I should have, it wasn't the answer I was expecting. I'm a little anxious, I'm a little nervous.
I'm scared. I'm really
She's
scared.
super scared.
All right.
I had to get the most confident person in the room. All right, well, what we're gonna do, so Kristen, so let's, for example, negative self-talk is what keeps people down from overcoming their fear and from doing their videos. So an exercise that I would do with my team is we would replace that negative self-talk with positive self-talk, right? We would do positive affirmations, but what we would do as a team, and I'm gonna need all of you guys for the next 5 seconds to help me out with this, because this is very impactful, and we're gonna pretend like you're fearful, right? Like you're scared, you don't know what to do, you don't wanna create content, and I'm gonna,
Maybe my shirt's wrinkled. You know.
Exactly. So I'm gonna count to 3. And at 3 for 5 seconds, I just want all of us just to clap for her, root her on. You've got this. Trust me, I know it sounds a little silly, but it really worked for my team, and it's really worked with all the people that I've been coaching on creating content. Okay? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you scared, right? She's scared. All right, so I'm gonna count to 3, and I need you guys all just to root her on, okay? 1, 2, 3. You got this. Yes. Thank you. Amazing. So, I mean, how does that make you feel?
Supported.
Right? Supported.
Yeah, accepted, included.
Exactly. Like that negative
Welcome.
self-talk, like that monkey brain that we have is now replaced with positive affirmations, good energy, right? And that's what we have to do in order to create video. I had to do that before I get up on stage. Behind stage, it's like that monkey brain like lurks in and tells me, you're not good enough. Your content, no one's gonna listen to it. No one's gonna do it, right? And we have to replace that with positivity, and exactly, that was a great example of that. So thank you so much for coming up on stage. I appreciate it. All right. So these are the 4 major reasons why people don't create video, right? They don't like how they look, they don't like how they sound, public scrutiny, and judgment. And so for the first top 2, this is what I created for my team. We did daily video diaries. So every day, at the end of the day, on their phone, they created a daily video diary for themselves. They would record it for 2 to 3 minutes and then watch it 3 times. Every single day for 3 days. And after 30 days, their subconscious then started connecting to the image and the sound of their voice that they were seeing playing back on screen. After a while, they started becoming more comfortable. I was looking at the videos and they started becoming more authentic, right? We hear that word a lot. How to be authentic, how to be more vulnerable. They became more vulnerable and I was able to connect with them and what they were talking about. So creating daily video diaries would be step 1 and incredibly crucial. Now the second 2, I'm gonna bunch those up as well. I could talk about this for days, right? You don't wanna be judged. You don't want negative comments on your videos. What if nobody watches, right? And so for those 2, I did a fear analysis. And so I'd sit my team down and I'd say, okay, great, make 4 columns. In the first column, write down what your fear is. On the second column, why are you afraid of that fear? On the third column, what's the worst thing that could happen? And then on the fourth column, what's the best thing that could happen? And usually the worst thing that could happen is not what actually happens. Like our brain usually wraps its idea around that and makes you think that that's actually going to become a reality. And so as we did this as a team, right, because this is a team effort, one by one, we were able to strike some of those fears, some of those insecurities that they felt of why they weren't creating content. And in this market, it's crucial. It's very important. It's no longer a piece of the marketing. Video is the marketing. You are the marketing, not just the agents, but also the brokers. So I'm going to play a little video here from a course that I created called Brand with Video, talking about the mirror exercise, which was an incredibly important exercise as well.
Ultimately, you want the person you see in your videos to reflect the same person you see every day and the same person that other people see.
So when I was a kid, I wanted to be an actor, I wanted to be a singer, I wanted to be on stage, but I hated the way that I looked. And so my mentor, he brought a mirror out. This is going to be the special brand with mirror. And he would have me hold it out for 10 minutes and just scan my face daily. I would look at my eyes for 2 minutes. I would look at my nose. I would look at my cheek. And I know it sounds a little weird, and you don't want to do this in public, by the way. If you're at a bus stop, you will get arrested. And if you're married, please let them know that you're doing this exercise so they don't divorce you. So they don't think you're crazy. And so I would do it every single day for 10 minutes until I started then connecting to the person who was in the mirror. Because for a long time, I didn't like the person that I saw in the mirror. I had to connect with it. And so this is a very important exercise that you can do with your team. And if all else fails, you've got Betty White. So what does Betty White have to do with anything? So I used to put a picture of someone that made me feel comfortable above the lens. And I used to strap it on there. And then, actually, this is a headband, so they come in headbands. And I'd put it up on top of the videographer's face, like this, right? It could be someone that makes you feel comfortable. Betty White makes me feel comfortable. So if all else fails, Betty White will come to the rescue. Okay, so why create video? Why is it so important, right? It creates awareness. Most importantly, you want people to know that you're in business, that your agents are in business, representing sellers and buyers. You want to be considered for that listing. You want to be considered for that buyer. And most importantly, the conversion, right? We all want to convert those buyers and sellers into signed listing agreements and to signed buyer-broker agreements. Very important. Now, brand pillars. Who's ever heard of a brand pillar before? Great. So people in branding and marketing use brand pillars to solidify the voice of a company, right? What do you stand for? Who are you? Who do you represent? And so in order to create content, brand pillars for me have been incredibly helpful for my team. So here are a couple examples of brand pillars for the real estate industry. So on the top, you have the top of the column, which is real estate. That's the great brand pillar. And then below it, you have the sub-pillars. So for example, you have real estate. You can talk about the market, global real estate trends. You can also talk about lifestyle, right? Design, technology. Anytime I'm looking for content for videos, for myself, for my team, I stick to these pillars and sub-pillars. This is where we're getting our content daily. We connect the two. We combine them. And we make sure that we don't go outside of these pillars because they're incredibly important. Because once we go outside, then we confuse our audience. We confuse our customer. And so you can definitely use these. These are mine specifically, but if you want to take a picture of them, create your own. It'll help you create content for any type of video. And not just for videos, but for your newsletters, for your blogs, etc. So video styles. So these are some of my favorite. Educational. You've got interview, day in the life, so behind the scenes, sales videos, and public relations. So here are some examples that I like to use for my team. So the first one is educational. Right now, more than ever, it's incredibly important to educate our sellers, educate our buyers, creating content that's going to help them. And with this one, I want to make sure that we stay in our lane, right? We're not economists, we're not attorneys, we're not CPAs. Getting information from NAR, your local board, very important. Creating content that is valuable but also honest and true, right? The second one is interview. Interviewing the manager of a new restaurant in your area. Interviewing a CPA or a lawyer who's in the real estate industry so that you can provide more quality content for your clients or for new possible clients. a day in the life. So everyone likes day in the life, so behind the scenes. I was actually doing a couple of video shots for behind the scenes for my social media, which is very important. People want to see what's behind the curtain. Sales videos, right? So these are your listings. These are you going through walkthroughs, through homes that you may or may not be representing, but at least you have some content that you could put on your social media. And this doesn't have to be professional. This could be, with your simple iPhone. And then last, public relations. So I was told pretty early on in my career, you will always be your best PR agent. So if you get an award for your sales, an award for the community, for the amount of philanthropy that you're doing, something that you're doing for your community, put it in a video. Thank the community, thank your customers, thank your agents. So this is an example of an educational video, super short, super easy, didn't cost her a thing. She did this at home, and I think she did a great job.
Hi everyone, Sarah Desamoy here. So today I wanted to address a question I get a lot. And that is, listen, if I have $1 million, what can I get in Miami?
So super easy, and then after that, she showed the listings. It was about a 2-minute video. Now, this is a sales video of a friend who went a little bit above the top, and you don't have to create things like this, but if you want to create one of these once a year where you're really going to wow your customers, wow your agents, this one was one that wowed me.
Hi, I'm Tyler Whitman, New Yorker, philanthropist, and your future real estate agent. I've been matching people with homes in New York City for over a decade now, and I'm committed to making the real estate experience a memorable one. Imagine yourselves throwing a party in this kitchen. I'm not just finding you a home, I'm finding you an entire future of experiences and possibilities. Too salty? There's nothing in there. Wait till you see the bathroom.
He's a funny guy. So he's on $1 Million Listing New York. He's a good friend of mine. And he still creates a lot of these funny videos that connect with his market and just puts them out there, right? It really shows his authentic and funny self. Now let's talk about equipment. I get asked a lot about equipment. So for a beginner, honestly, it's as easy as taking out your phone. I use this for videos more than I use for anything else regarding like videographers or any in regard to that. I think it's super easy to use. You can get a light ring if you want. You can get a microphone, but it's not necessary. You have the power here in your hand. For advanced, you can always get a lav mic or a stabilizer or a light ring. If you want to go a little bit more on the expert side, you can get a more expensive camera, a tripod. But in all honesty, I would stick to this and a videographer, and I'll tell you why. When you're trying to go advanced and expert, then you kind of take away your energy from your clients, from your sellers, from your buyers, when you should be there for them, educating them, showing them homes, right? So being a beginner, using this as a tool, I think is probably the best way to go. And then a videographer. Videographers are so inexpensive, and I'll go over a couple of questions here whenever you're hiring someone. Number one is, look at a sample of their work, right, before you hire someone. Any testimonials? Super important. Why do they want to work with you? What about turnaround time? Can you get this to me within a couple of days, or is it going to take a couple of weeks? Can you work with graphics, subtitles? And also an advice that I would also give is take them out to dinner. My videographer that I've been working with for the last 4 years, I took him out to dinner, got to understand him. He got to understand how I work, because we all work very differently, and we got comfortable with each other. So when it came time to actually do the video, we did a great job, and we still have a continued relationship where we both feel very comfortable, and I can show up feeling vulnerable and authentic, and we're able to capture that on camera. Now, platforms. These are 4 of my favorite platforms where you can put out your videos and are incredibly important, especially nowadays. So YouTube, right? YouTube is your website for all of your video content. This is where you want to put your videos that are over 2 minutes, high quality, because YouTube will favor the ones that have a higher quality, so you want to make sure you do that. And it allows you to kind of put things into categories. You could put certain videos into certain categories, and that way it really wows a seller and also a buyer. Now, some tips on this is there's the Google Display Network, so make sure that you write this down. So the Google Display Network will allow you to market your videos within a certain area, and also will allow you to upload your client list, your agent referral list, so that way whenever you market it, they'll be able to watch it. Because right now on YouTube, if you put it out there, unless you put money behind it, it's not gonna reach a big array of people. So those are incredible. It's an incredible way to reach your general market, your customer list, and also for agent-to-agent referrals. The next one is Instagram. This one's incredibly important. This is the platform where I get the most business and where my agents get the most business. This is where I can be myself. This is where I can include both a little bit of personal and a little bit of business. And some of my tips on Instagram is Reels. You want to go really, really hard on Reels right now. Vertical video is the way to be able to get more exposure out, not just in your general audience and the people who follow you, but also other people who are interested in real estate. Very, very important. Hashtags matter, and also go live. There's that little live button or the live button on Instagram. Make sure that you use that. That's so important because that also favors the algorithm, and that way you'll pop up on as many people who like to follow real estate or who have hashtags in real estate who could be potential clients. Now, the next one is Facebook. So I still get a lot of clients from Facebook, my personal and the business. So on the personal, I keep the videos very short, less than 2 minutes, and I put a really nice headliner so that way it grabs the attention. And I always get a lot more attention on my personal than I do on my business. Now, on the business side, you definitely want to have a business Facebook, because you're able to then market using Facebook Business Manager and Facebook Studio. So those two are incredibly important for Facebook. So Facebook Business Manager allows me to market my videos not only on Facebook, but also on Instagram. It allows me to upload my past clients, my agent-to-agent referral partners, a certain group that I belong to, a networking group. And so that way, whenever I upload my videos, they'll be able to see them as well. And then the last one, which is the infamous one, right? The TikTok. The one that I resisted for the longest time, because I said, I'm not dancing. I'm not dancing. And so TikTok has now become the biggest social media platform of all time. And on TikTok, this is where you can dance if you want, right? It's part of your brand. If you like to dance and if you're good and it makes you feel good, do it, right? A lot of my agents in my office have created educational videos where they kind of put out content. And remember, you have 1 minute, right? 1 minute to put out a piece of content that someone will grab to because they're flipping, and they're flipping pretty quickly. For example, I'll give you one of my ideas and then kind of flip it to give you some ideas on what you can do. I like coffee, real estate, and music. And I'm Latin. So I thought, I can go around my community and interview certain people who have questions about real estate. We went down Santa Monica Boulevard, down Sunset, and I got a ton of questions, and we created this new show called Real Estate Cafecito. So cafecito means coffee. I'm Latin, so I was like, boom, got that. And then I thought, well, how can I include the music part? And I used to be a singer, and so at the end of it, which is gonna be the hook, every time the show ends, it's gonna say, thanks for watching Real Estate Cafecito. And that way, I can grab my audience, right? And for you guys, it could be if you're a cook. You've got kids, right? Pets. Like, how can you create a little jingle or something that can connect with your audience? And that way you can just grab them, and then they'll want to see more, right? It's all about grabbing and getting that attention and that awareness. So why should you care, right? This is the big question. It's the number one way to build a brand right now, right? It's a very inexpensive way. If you can just grab your phone, check it out, record, send it out to your customer database, or just on Instagram or Facebook, it's completely free, right? Consumers right now prefer video. I still do a blog. I still have my newsletters that we send out monthly, bi-monthly, but most of the people prefer to watch video. They get the content a lot faster, and they're able to connect with the brand, right? It gives you that expert badge, right? If you're within a certain community, if you work a certain community, and that's the only community that you serve, create as much video as possible. Neighborhood videos, videos about the schools, videos about the restaurants. Like flood the internet with as much video content as possible. So when people are looking for agents in that area, they'll be able to find your agents. And then also the last one, which I feel is the most important, is the competitors are doing it. Every major competitor is doubling down on video. And so we don't want to be the last ones on the bus, right? We still have a lot of time. We still have a lot of time to create content, and especially in a time right now where our consumers are looking for us for information. They're looking for us to educate them on how to beat out that multiple offer. They're looking for us on what's happening with interest rates. How can we educate them? How can we be a guide for them? And that's it, guys. So thank you so much for having me. My name again was Ivan Estrada, and thank you. And there's the QR code for the slides. We have a ton of information on there, all about video. And thank you again. Thanks for having me. Betty White says thank you as well. Bye, guys.
Okay, so Ivan doesn't know I'm about to do this, but I've known Ivan, followed him for a long time. He's very humble. He was a 30 under 30. That's how we met. He has a best-selling book, Brand with Purpose. Guys, when I heard him speak, what was it, September? Where were we? Fort Worth, Texas, 30 under 30 reunion. And he has the most incredible story. I read this book in, no joke, a day and a half. It is so powerful. And so tomorrow's little raffle, this will be one of our gifts that we give away. Now, a little bit about him. How many of you were motivated by that? Yeah. He is also single, and he says...
They're just pawning us off.
He is looking for offers. Multiple offers are expected. Unfortunately, he comes as is with no credits or repairs. But in all seriousness, this book is fantastic. That kind of humor, you can get it everywhere. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Love you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you, guys.
Another thing he didn't say, he's very modest. Last year, I think he did 60 million. He's on track to do 125 this year. Video. It's incredible. Make it work.